Do you consider that the City Council should ensure that the provision of new hotels and conference facilities in the Paddington Opportunity Area do not prejudice the provision of commercial and residential floor space? Historically, within the unitary development plan, they were certainly given a second-order priority in terms of the mix of use, and there was sought to control the amount of hotel and visitor accommodation that came forward as part of the Opportunity Area. Does anyone have any comments to make specifically about Paddington and hotels?
Do you have a new hotel going in? I know they've got the 2,000-bedded Metropole Hotel, which is, I believe, one of the few conference centres which can sleep their own 2,000. But is there another new hotel of any substance going into the new basin? Paddington Waterside?
If we could just, one of the colleagues.
Yes, there is.
Oh, right.
I can't remember the name. It's the building with the brown and gold leafed finish overlooking the railway sites. Hugh, you must know the name of the new hotel. No. But, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Don't stop it.
There's just a different question which you don't ask in your list, which I thought I should raise, which is the extent to which you do or you don't need to protect hotel stock as a fundamental issue in Westminster. As you know, we did a piece of research work to look at the growth rates of hotel against London's strategic targets, and the City Council is doing incredibly well. In fact, you were ahead of target last year, and therefore we have raised the question, fundamental question is, should you always protect all hotels when you're producing many, many more, especially when, and in the case I have in mind, the result was you could not allow a lot of additional residential accommodation which would otherwise have been provided. So there's a question of land use choice here, and if as a consequence of always protecting hotels you are not getting residential, is that what you want? And I think that's a question that just needs thinking through, which is a deeper supply-demand question. I've personally done dozens and dozens of hotel applications in Westminster. I'm sure they're coming through quite a lot. And so I just raise that as a question. Is it always going to be a ratchet that's only ever more? Are we now at a time when you can consider either a neutral position or accepting that if residential comes forward instead, that's fine?
Would there be any particular criteria that you'd apply for the loss so that, whether or not, so it was somewhat constrained?
I think particularly poor quality substandard. I think the one I have in mind was a 1960s pretty unattractive building, not making any contribution to anything at all. I think accepting that could go for residential wouldn't be such a bad thing.
I guess we'd have to investigate the relationship with the London plan and certainly what the London Mayor has to say.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we hear applications where buildings are kind of hung, drawn and quartered before us, and the kind of budget hotels is a particular one, I think, something in the CAZ that we've let go of, where it's quite easy to build up a narrative about how bad they are. Yes. But I acknowledge, though, as Louise was pointing out, we can't really do very much about trying to up their game if they are being a nuisance. I wish we could, but I think at the same time we maybe sometimes as a local authority be too accepting of arguments that buildings are a nuisance when in order to get rid of the uses. My view on the hotel provision is that, and I'm no expert in terms of what London regionally is saying, is that this area is about, that vitality is about having people short stay due to the fact that we like the fact they visit the British Library, our conference centres and things like that. So therefore, my gut feeling is that we should be encouraging and keeping as much hotel use, as much varied hotel use as we can.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think it's a question to debate. I think the other point, just on the quality and the 3-star. I mean, certainly, the coach issue is a big issue, and I think that if you go down that route, you have to find a solution to the coach question, because certainly we've done many hotel proposals that you've accepted precisely because we say they are 5-star boutique hotels, therefore there will be no coaches, therefore you accept them. So we have a situation where the coach issue actually drives out of the planning system the mid-market hotel, and how that's resolved I'm not sure, but that's certainly the way things have gone.
That's very interesting, thank you. All right, were there any other comments on hotels and conference facilities?